Transforming your life through hypnotherapy has never been easier. With the help of your host, Julie from CoachingHypnosis.net, and these power-packed minisodes, you're sure to find yourself engaging in more positive behaviors around both your physical and mental health. Here's your host, Julie.
G'day, it's Julie from CoachingHypnosis.net, and you deserve to know the one cosmic remote viewing hypnosis tip for 2022. Because people have had enough of being friggin' fabulous and paranoid about the paranormal all at the same time. And I'm not a therapist or psychotherapist, but this is my 9th year as a clinical hypnotherapist in strategic psychotherapy. I currently help my clients online. They change their life without changing out of their pajamas. And you deserve to know the truth about remote viewing. And I don't know if you think remote viewing is possible, or if you think Russia or China or Israel or some other country is remote viewing us all. But what I do know is remote viewing is not something you can learn in hypnosis or master NLP. But the closest thing I have experienced trying to psychically read someone was when I was learning master NLP, and we were given an exercise to pair up and project a situation like we were cooking, walking, or listening to music. And if we chose cooking, we had to imagine we were cooking while the other person tried to read our mind. It was more like testing out our ESP mojo, extrasensory perception. But we had to, with all our energy, try and project out. We were cooking with all the visuals, feelings, temperature, the joy, the passion, whatever it was, and beam it out from our body. But it was my turn to mind read. We were sitting beside each other. We both had our eyes closed, and I felt like I was tumbling. But it was my turn to mind read. And here I was sitting beside this bloke. We both had our eyes closed, and I had to try and read his mind. And every time I tried to, I felt like I was tumbling, falling, rolling around. So I would stop and then try again. I felt a bit sick. I questioned if I was in water. But it took me ages to work that out because I was being thrown about so much. And after about 1 or 2 very long minutes, I came to the conclusion that the bloke was swimming. It turns out I was wrong. He was imagining surfing. So I know I'm not DIA Project Stargate material. I know the US Defense Intelligence Agency won't be knocking on my door and ask me to become a psychic spy. Because that bloke went all in on projecting a life experience of him surfing. And I was sitting right beside him, not even a meter apart from each other, and I was still unable to pick up on any psychic cues. And I can only imagine someone like you, with your truth-seeking ways and interest in weird and wonderful topics, are familiar with Stargate Project, which was a secret US Army unit established in 1978 at Fort Meade, Maryland, by the Defense Intelligence Agency. It would investigate the potential for psychic phenomenon in military and intelligence applications. Stargate Project's work primarily involved remote viewing and the ability to psychically see event sites or information from a great distance. The unit was small scale, comprising of about 15 to 20 individuals, and the Stargate Project was terminated and declassified in 1995 after a CIA report concluded it was never useful in any intelligence operation. However, I've just finished reading Psychic Warrior, The True Story of America's Foremost Psychic Spy by David Morehouse. And in the final chapter, he mentions there's so much more around us than our physical eyes can see. I can say with absolute confidence that the gift spoken of in this chronicle is precious and a wonderful tool, and we've been fortunate enough to see in our lifetime. I can also say with equal conviction that like anything placed in mortal hands, the gift can be transformed into a curse that can plague mankind rather than serve and protect. The choice is ours. The secret's ours. Remote viewing exists. It works. It's been tested and proven and used in our intelligence for over 2 decades. But as you know, remote viewing is a practice of seeking impressions about a distant or unseen subject, sensing it with the mind. Typically, a remote viewer is expected to give information about an object, event, person, or location that's hidden from physical view and separated at some distance. And I can only imagine someone like you, with your independent, logical, and calculated moves, has already read the study titled Applying NLP to Build a Cold Reading Chatbot at the 2021 International Symposium on electrical, electronics, and information engineering. And you might be thinking, why build a cold reading chatbot? But this grief bot was to be used to assist those suffering from prolonged grief disorder. And by using cold reading techniques, you don't need data on lost loved ones. Your computer code doesn't have to focus on the last thing your user typed in a message. And with cold reading, you just respond to the overall context. It would be something new, a grief bot. And I don't know if you know how to cold read, for example. Imagine saying to someone, would you like ice cream on your sandwich? And they say no. Take a mental picture of their face as they say no. Now you know what their face looks like just before their face is about to say no. It turns out the GriefBot study needed more data, and maybe remote viewing inspired robust tech nerds to invent remote patient monitoring, that creepy technology you allow in your home that lets providers manage acute and chronic conditions, and it cuts down on patients' travel costs and infection risk. But as far as I'm aware, there's no NLP or hypnosis techniques for remote viewing. But if you're looking to boost your ESP mojo, extrasensory perception or communication outside of normal sensory capability, as in telepathy or clairvoyance, here's a motivational hypnosis script. Take a deep breath in, hold it, and let it go. Because you are unaffected by negativity and retain the ability to enjoy all the warmth and joy that life has to offer. You are totally detached from negativity. You're open and receptive to love. You do not complain. You accept other people as they are without expecting them to change. You are patient, calm, harmoniously centered at all times. You let go of all fear-based emotions such as blame, jealousy, guilt, and possessiveness. These negative emotions are now part of your past. You are independent and self-responsible and fully realize you have unlimited ability to create your own reality. You are rapidly developing perception and psychic powers. The psychic powers is within and is your divine right. Infinite Spirit gives you the wisdom to increase your psychic powers and awareness. You trust your intuitive processes. Your thoughts have psychic validity, and now you trust your thoughts. You have extrasensory and precognitive abilities. You listen to that inner self. You follow the magical path of intuition, and your psychic powers increase tenfold. Every day your awareness increases and you receive many premonitions of things. You have the total ability to concentrate totally upon the subject of your immediate focus, whether business, pleasure, or meditation. You keep your mind calm like water. You remain centered at all times, physically relaxed, emotionally calm, mentally focused, and spiritually aware. So what if you thought about remote viewing differently? And what if you didn't? The choice is yours.